Welcome, future foresters. When you imagine a forester, what do you see? Perhaps someone standing alone studying a magnificent tree. But in the modern world, there's another, equally important picture. A forester sitting with a community, listening, planning, and working together. In the mid-20th century, forestry was seen very differently. The prevailing belief was that forests were primarily for producing raw materials and generating government revenue. Under this old paradigm, local people were often seen as a problem. Their farming practices were believed to interfere with timber harvesting. The solution? Centralize all forest management in the hands of the government, because it was believed that only trained professionals could manage forests well. But this top-down approach failed. Deforestation continued at an alarming rate. Poverty in upland communities was not solved, and policing the forests simply didn't work. It became clear that the problem wasn't just technical, it was a deep, socio-political issue. A new way of thinking was desperately needed. This is where social forestry emerges as the new paradigm. It represents a fundamental shift in perspective. Let's compare the old assumptions with the new ones. The old assumption was that local people were a threat. The new assumption sees rural people as potential partners. The old way believed only professionals could manage forests. The new way recognizes that local indigenous technical knowledge is time-tested, reliable, and culturally adapted. So, what is social forestry? It's the branch of forestry that deals with the crucial interactions between the forest ecosystem and the human social system. The Food and Agriculture Organization defines it as any situation that intimately involves local people in a forest activity to improve their own welfare. The journey to social forestry in the Philippines happened in phases. The pioneering phase from 1971 to 1980 saw the first people-oriented programs. However, these early efforts often treated people as mere providers of cheap labor. It was a period of appeasement, but it was a start. The integration and consolidation phase from 1981 to 1989 was a major step forward. This era introduced the Integrated Social Forestry Program, or ISFP. For the first time, communities were given tenure through a 25-year stewardship contract, giving them the right to develop forest lands. The biggest shift came in the 1990s. The Local Government Code of 1991 devolved power to local units. Then, in 1995, Executive Order 263 established Community-Based Forest Management, or CBFM, as the national strategy for sustainable forestry. Community-Based Forest Management, or CBFM, as the national strategy for sustainable forestry. CBFM is the cornerstone policy. It integrates all previous people-oriented programs. It grants communities long-term tenure, 25 years, renewable for another 25, giving them the security to invest in their land. It promotes social justice and empowers them as true partners. The entire practice of social forestry rests on three fundamental pillars of community development. First, empowerment, enabling people to develop their skills to take actions essential for their lives. Second, participation. This means the active and sustained involvement of the community in every step of the process, from identifying the problem to planning, implementing, and monitoring the solution. And third, social justice and equity. This ensures equitable access to and distribution of resources, services, and benefits. It recognizes people's rights to their cultural heritage and targets the most marginalized groups in the community. So, as a future forester, your role is transformed. You are not just a technical expert. You are a facilitator, a partner, and a community organizer. Your success will be measured not just by the health of the trees, but by the empowerment and well-being of the people who call the forest home. Social forestry is the future. It is the path to achieving true, sustainable development, where healthy forests and empowered communities grow together. Welcome to the new paradigm. Learn more at Resource Link.